All right, folks, welcome back. It is beginning. The Australian Grand Prix is here. Can you believe the time? Wow, that was one quick winter, huh? And we're straight back at the Formula One, guys. It's awesome to be back. And wow, what a way to start off the season, guys, in Australia. Welcome back to the Peter Welsh Show, lads. We talk sports, relationships, and occasionally the meaning of life. Like, why people still think Ferrari will win a title? But today, we're driving straight in to the 2025 Formula One season, lads. And let me tell you, if the season is a Tinder date, it starts off as maybe turns into, oh my god, this is amazing. And then ends with, why did I swipe right on this madness? And what better place to start than Australia? Really, it's a great track. In fact, there's even chance of rain this weekend. Oh, this is going to be, and it's a tough track, lads. Melbourne, the land of Australia, sorry guys, the land of kangaroos, sunburn, and the most unpredictable F1 season openers. It really is. It's hard to know. The hype is massive. The odds are wild. And somehow Hamilton looks like a real contender for this year. And we're going to go through the odds in a second, but I've no idea how to feel about this. It's like, huh? It's like seeing your ex in the gym, looking better than ever. It's uncomfortable, but you can't look away.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move. He's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh. Now, let's talk Hamilton. Obviously, we all know he's at Ferrari. He's excited. He's ready to go. A new opportunity, a new experience, which is great for him, obviously, you know? And hey, what better team would you want to be with, huh? Ferrari? Oh, dear Lord. And he's pumped, man. And for some reason, I've got this gut feeling here that he could be a real true contender for the championship this year. I think if he gets one or two or three races, three good performances, shall we say, if he gets them under his belt at the early start of the year, I think they're going to pick up momentum with him, and they'll go for it, and they'll put all their efforts, Ferrari now, they'll put all their efforts into Hamilton if he does pick up some mojo here. And here's the thing. What about Charles Leclerc? The golden boy of Ferrari, right? I think everybody loves Charles Leclerc. Maybe you're not a huge fan, but he's a nice guy. He's quick. He's had some good results. He's had some bad results. And, Carlos Sainz was right there with them last year, in fairness. So, the two lads, they did have the pace. Hamilton, it won't take Hamilton 2 seconds to get used to that car. It won't. Because he's driven Formula One cars for such a long time. And it'll be easier. So, what about Mercedes? Is it the FIA trying to make things interesting here? Did Toto Wolff make a deal with the devil? I don't know, man. But I do know that Hamilton shows up to Melbourne with the swagger of a man who knows something maybe we don't. And that's what I kind of wonder. And then Red Bull, they're not as dominant as before, as we all know, which is weird because for the past few years they've been running F1 like it's their own Mario Kart race. And 2025 hits differently. Verstappen's not strolling into the paddock here like he owns the place. He looks a bit concerned. And I don't blame him. I mean, guys, if you haven't seen Drive to Survive, season 7, by the way, I've just done a podcast on that a couple of weeks ago. Last week, guys. And, it's really good. Oh man. You really get to get the idea of what Christian Horner went through with the allegations. Max Verstappen's dad apparently trying to get him out of the team. Now, when I heard that first in Drive to Survive, I was like, come on. And then Max Verstappen was asked about it, and they said, well, look, my dad does say things out loud, and he's quite direct. Like, what? Are you actually serious? So there's quite a lot going on in the Red Bull camp here, lads. We don't know exactly what is going on, but there's a lot going on. Now, let's talk McLaren. They completely messed up their Drivers' Championships last year, as we all know, and I know I'm going to go on about it again. And Zak Brown is a dumbass. He is an amazing dumbass, this guy. To actually have, in Hungary last year, Oscar Piastri behind Lando Norris. So Norris was leading the race. He's trying to hunt down Verstappen. Lando Norris has more championship points than Oscar Piastri at this stage, and yet they tell Lando Norris to pull over and let Piastri through. What an unbelievable pack of idiots at McLaren. Now, I'm telling you, I'm maybe brutal here and honest, but it's true. You don't put your attention into the guy who's in third. Now, all Zak Brown wanted to do was obviously get some more money from the constructors. But you don't get any movie star cred here, lad, when you don't win the Drivers' Championship. You don't get it when you win the Constructors' Championship. You get some money, yeah, sure. But that's the thing. He'd had two drivers up there. He could have had Lando Norris just win and overtake, and that's it. And then have your boy coming in second position. I mean, I was gobsmacked when I saw that last year that he did this, Zak Brown. I couldn't believe it. So, what are we in for this year? Is he going to do the same thing? Is he going to, well, no, come on, no, we'll stick to the rule, lads, come on. And he even said it in Drive to Survive. Oh, well, look, we all learn from our mistakes. Really? That wasn't a mistake. I don't get this guy, man. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm all over the place here, lads, but I can't figure it out. Cannot figure this guy out at all. You've got Adrian Newey at Aston Martin. Now, yeah, at the first 3 days of testing, Alonso didn't set the world on. He's obviously still in testing mode, I suppose, really, at Australia. I'm sorry, at Bahrain a few weeks ago. Oh, sorry, was it last week? It was last week. Yeah, last week. Anyway, and guys, no, 2 weeks ago. Sorry, guys. Anyway, like, if any man can turn a car around quickly, it's Adrian Newey. I've got a lot of confidence in this man. And where do we go from here? I think they're going to be quick. I think they're going to have a good balance in the car, because Adrian Newey will not, and I tell you this, lads, there's no flies on this man, and Adrian Newey will not have an unbalanced car. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad at slow, medium, and high-speed tracks. That's what my prediction here on this is. And let's have a look at the track. All right, lads, what a great track. Albert Park, savage track, 5 kilometers long. You've got 58 laps of a race, lap record 1:19.8 by Charles Leclerc in 2024. So guys, it's very important. This track, very important to get the balance for slow and medium corners here. So 1 and 2, it's very, you'd call it a momentum track. So you've really got to carry the speed into those corners. Get through 1 nice and smooth, get into 2, and basically catapult the car up to number 3. Now, you go through 4 and 5. Turn 6, I think, is the most important corner on the track, because you're going through here, and once you go through number 7 and 8, 9, 10, they're kind of like the same sequence, where if you get through 6, you're carrying all that momentum, all that speed, into 7, into 8, down that long straight down the back, into 9, and then sweep right into 10. And then 11 and 12 are kind of no-brainer corners, really. You just get through them. 13, 14 an important corner, definitely, because it looks longer than if you look at a track map, and you carry that momentum all the way onto the track. They'll have high downforce, no doubt about it, because it's a street track. Now, if it's raining, oh dear Lord, lads, this is where it really, really could get very juicy. And the beautiful part of this, lads, is that nobody can predict exactly what's happening here for the start. It's very open, very open. And like the race itself, lads, absolute madness. There's been carnage throughout the years going into that turn 1 at the start of the straight, because again, you've got a long straight going up into turn 1, lads. So therefore they're going to be gaining the momentum up the long straight because, again, it's picking up speed. Going into turn 1, I mean, we've seen some crashes throughout this place over the years, man. And this lap, first lap, is going to be... there could be penalties thrown around like Oprah handing out free cars, lads, here. And you get a 5-second penalty. You get a 5-second penalty. Everybody gets a penalty. I mean, it just wouldn't be surprised. Lando Norris is in the mix. Sainz is fighting hard in the poor old Williams. Or poor old Sainz, should we say, in the Williams. Maybe that's the best way to say it. Hamilton Verstappen. Is it going to be 2021 all over again? Except now, Max is probably a little bit more wound up and a little more concerned about what could happen here for the start. Now, let's look at something juicy. I wonder you'll be going to surprise with this, lads. The odds. Now, we're just at the eve of round 1. But the odds out here are kind of interesting. Lando Norris is at 3.35 odds. Charles Leclerc, 4.31 odds. Max Verstappen, 4.4. Piastri, 7.2. Hamilton, 9.2. Russell, 15.0. There's a big jump between what we have 5th. So, like, there's a big jump. Hamilton, at the moment, they're saying now that he's 5th fastest. I'm not sure why they've got Leclerc up there. Leclerc had some pace last year, but I don't know why they'd have him there. I would have thought Lando Norris, if anything, you know, make it kind of just simple. Lando Norris and Piastri would have been at the top here. Very interesting why they've got Leclerc. And Piastri, fourth favourite. I would have had the two Ferraris together, neck and neck. Very, very interesting. And Russell? Really? And Antonelli? Antonelli's only, he's only 3 spaces behind Hamilton. Very odd. Alonso, he's down in, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alonso in 10th at 177.55. Alex Albon is at 177.55. I would have Alonso up in the top 4, I would think. I would think you'd have... Yes, you'd have to go Norris. You see, I'm kind of up and down, lads, aren't I? You have to have Norris and Piastri. I'd have them at the same odds for right now. I'd have Hamilton and Leclerc in 3rd and 4th. Depending on which order, you know, you could debate that one. And then I'd have Alonso. So, what do we learn from the 2025 Australian Grand Prix? Well, we don't know yet, but what do we know so far? Hamilton isn't done yet, my man. He still wants his 8th World Championship. Verstappen finally has to probably fight for his titles now. I mean, I think he's under a lot of pressure. McLaren are scary fast, which means they'll probably be nerfed by mid-season. Ferrari will always Ferrari. F1 is absolutely insane, and we love it for this. Now, the title fight's on. Who's going to get into that turn 1 and without any damage? Because that, my friends, is what this Albert Park is all about. Battles, crashes, and a lot of crashes. Now, we love the sport, but for now, lads, let's sign off, and we'll see you for the reaction of the Australian Grand Prix. Right, I need a drink.